Hey everybody, welcome back to the Turnout. I'm your host Eloy. It wasn't in the original plan for me to, I guess, start doing a live stream every Sunday, but that's what it's looking like right now. Is this is another Sunday live stream that I'm going to do, but it's not going to be harping about Charmed this time. Um, Honestly, there was obviously this weekend was San Diego ComicCon, and if you've been, on the channel for a bit, you obviously know that I'm a fan of the different Marvel movies and what. Today, I wanted to talk about the announcements that were just done yesterday, and it's been all over my feeds and everything. But it was late and I was tired. And actually, yesterday I celebrated my birthday, so I didn't have time to actually jump on here and have a discussion about it. But today is definitely going to be the day that I want to talk about the MCU Phase 4 announcements. So first, I want to go ahead and let's talk about the movies first, because the movies are very exciting. I'm very excited about the movies that were announced. The first one, I won't really go in any particular order, but the first one I want to talk about is Black Widow. I think this one was probably the one I was least interested in. But at the same time, it's pretty cool because it's been a long time coming. Black Widow kind of deserved to have a movie long before now. And of course, now that, spoiler alert, she did die in Endgame, but now this is going to be kind of a movie that's going to come out before, like a prequel. So it's going to be a prequel to all of this stuff, and hopefully the thing is too that there's going to be a lot of characters kind of reprising their roles in all the different movies, kind of here and there. So all of that should be pretty interesting. I'm kind of excited about seeing it, because I'm definitely going to see it because it's a Marvel movie. I see every Marvel movie, but also it's probably the one I was least interested in. Besides the other one that I was least interested in, which is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was announced. And I think it's cool. Like I dig what Doctor Strange adds to the MCU and Marvel Comics in general. He adds the magic element to it all, and I get why he's an important factor. I've never really been a fan of Doctor Strange, whether it be comics, animated movies, or even the movies. Not that Benedict Cumberbatch does a bad job, being him, but it's just I've just never been into the character. But Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness actually sounds like it could be pretty good, and I think it's going to start introducing a little bit more of the multiverse that was kind of promised to us in Spider-Man: Far From Home, but we did not actually get that. But it would be cool to actually see them explore a little bit of the multiverse and see what comes out of that when we start doing more of that. So yeah, so there's those two that I was like, okay, I'm on board. I'll watch them, but whatever. But there were the other three movies that were announced, and all they did was talk about what's coming out 2020 and 2021. So they weren't talking about anything beyond that, which they mentioned some stuff, but these are just the big ones that they're announcing here. So the first one is Eternals, and the Eternals, I was really, really surprised. Not that they were going to make the Eternals, because we did know that they were coming out with the Eternals. We saw, I mean, everybody saw the signs. Everybody knew what was coming. And I think everybody knew that Angelina Jolie had been tapped for one of the roles in the Eternals. But when they brought the whole cast out on stage, I was like, this cast looks amazing. Because not only does it have Angelina Jolie, but it's going to have Selma Hayek. It's going to have Brian Henry Tyree, or Tyree Henry, Brian Tyree Henry. And it's going to have Kamal Ninjani. I'm saying his name wrong, but I love that guy because I actually just watched his movie, The Big Sick, just last weekend, and it was such a good movie. Oh my God, such a good movie. But anyway, there were a couple of other people too that I just didn't recognize offhand. But even with just those four actors themselves are just amazing. So I'm excited about the Eternals, and it's about all of the these immortal beings that have existed in the Marvel universe like forever. And if you didn't know, Thanos is like the child of the in Eternal. So like if Thanos is the kid of what these beings are, that means these beings are like super powerful. And I think that that's going to add more to the cosmic aspect of the MCU, because what they've already said, and they've said this in past, is that they're going to now start having kind of parallel storylines going on, where they're going to have more of an Earth thing going on here, and then they're going to have a cosmic threat going on over here, and the two aren't necessarily going to interact with each other. They're going to just kind of be, so that you can kind of have a separation of the characters, and it's not every character has to be involved in everybody else's movies. So it should be pretty interesting. I'm pretty excited about the Eternals. That's definitely one that I was like, okay, I'm on board. That sounds great. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is the next one, and that looks really cool. I I like the guy that they got to play Shang-Chi, and if everybody doesn't know Shang-Chi, he's the master of martial arts. He had his own comic back in the day. And, a lot of people who, claim that like Iron Fist is like Orientalism and stuff like that. Shang-Chi existed before Iron Fist. And that was an interesting thing that I found out after the fact. But he existed before Iron Fist, and he was the master of martial arts. And then Iron Fist came out after him. So a lot of people are like, why didn't they just make Iron Fist Asian? It's actually because they already had Shang-Chi out. But Shang-Chi is going to be, so he's a Chinese martial artist. That it's and the Legend of the Ten Rings means that we might be getting the real Mandarin now in the MCU. Obviously, we had kind of a fake Mandarin played by Ben Kingsley in Iron Man 3. But now we're going to get the real Mandarin. That's my thought. I mean, obviously, Legend of the Ten Rings, for me, that spells it out pretty easily. But I think that's going to be really cool. It's going to be the first Asian-led film from Marvel, and he's the master of kung fu. I mean, I think it's going to be pretty cool. I mean, Shang-Chi was always just kind of like Marvel's homage to Bruce Lee. So if this guy can pull it off and really make this like amazing, I think it's going to be really cool. Simu Liu is the guy who's doing it. He's a Canadian actor, and he's in a show called Kim's Convenience, which you can see on Netflix. So go check that out if you've never seen him in action. Now you can already go see him acting in something. I actually haven't watched it, so I'm going to have to go watch it too, and we'll see what happens. The biggest of the movies, the second biggest of the movies for me, but the last official released with a date and everything was Thor Love and Thunder. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what we needed. We needed to have this storyline come into play. And what it's going to be is it's going to be the storyline from the comics that a lot of people like, but a lot of people also did like. I actually enjoyed it. It was where Thor stopped being Thor, and instead there was a female Thor who was running around. Everybody's like, oh man, who's the female Thor? And then you find out, I'm not spoiling anything because we know who's going to portray the female Thor, that it's Jane Foster, Thor's old girlfriend. And in the book and in the comics, I believe she was suffering from cancer, and then being Thor was the only way for her to not, die of cancer. So the biggest thing for me, though, is I'm excited because there's the element that Natalie Portman kind of stopped kind of getting on with Marvel for a while there, and there was a lot of arguments, and she had kind of stepped away for many, many years to go and try and pursue other projects and whatnot. So it's really cool to see that she's back, and that that maybe they've made amends. So I think that that's pretty cool. Yes, the comment here is that not female Thor, just Thor. True, she is just Thor. But obviously, she's also a woman. So I get what you're saying. But it was a big deal in the comics that, it was a woman who was Thor at the time, and it was just interesting. But I actually dug that storyline quite a bit. So I'm excited to see what Tiki Waititi does with it when he brings it to the movies now. So I think that that'll be really, really cool. So there's that. Let's see. So that was the last like major. So the dates right now, we have May 1st, 2020 is Black Widow, November 5th, 2020 Eternals, February 12th, 2021 is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. May 7th is 2021, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And November 5th, 2021 is Thor, Love and Thunder. And that was the biggest thing for me, was I was looking at this lineup and I'm like, I actually really like this lineup. But what's going on here? Where are some of my returning? This is cool for new movies. Where's the returning movies that I kind of want to see? But one of the things that Kevin Feige said is he quote said, Black Panther 2 is coming, Guardians 3 is coming, Captain America 2 is coming, Fantastic Four is coming. So okay, so the first two kind of already been announced. Like we knew Black Panther, Black and then Guardians 3 was coming, because we knew that Thor was going to be part of the Guardians, so it was going to be the Asgardians of the galaxy. And we knew Black Panther 2 was coming, because they're not going to not make that money. But because that movie made a lot of money. But the fact that he just said Captain Marvel 2 is coming, so that's really cool. Maybe that'll be the introduction of the X-Men, like I had suggested in an earlier video. But also Fantastic Four is coming, and that one was a surprise to me, because I knew that probably that was going to be in the works, but I didn't think that they'd start talking about it already. Thought that maybe we would wait until we had like a really cool kind of like give it some time and have like a real like big pitch before they even talked about it, because the Fantastic Four has already been done wrong so many times that just saying that Fantastic Four is coming is exciting, because I actually dig the Fantastic Four, but also I'm so like, it's the MCU, so I bet that they'll do a good job, but I'm always so scared whenever I hear that Fantastic Four is going to get a new movie. Like, oh God. But yes, I agree with you. And the reason that I use the term female Thor, yes, she is just Thor, but female Thor is how they are describing it in like the writing and stuff like that. Like that's how they are promoting it, is that, hey, she's going to come out and we're going to do the female Thor, storyline. So, I like the storyline, and I'm using the words that they're using. So, hopefully nobody hates on me because I'm saying female Thor. It's like, that's what they're doing. So though that's the